Hello. Thank you for the invitation. I think in general, performance is really similar to the Lego blocks. Because there is difference between once I know the Lego blocks, one I know how they look like, and the difference between how to make sure that I'm able to create specific structure from the blocks. And I think the same is with the performance. Very often, we know remarketing, we know that landing page optimization is very, very important. We know that we need to talk in different way to different people, to different audiences. We have really high expectations, we have really high hopes for the result. We create a campaign, and the result is something like that. And that's why, because the market is getting more and more advanced, we have like the people who have bigger knowledge about marketing, about performance. That's why I think once we create a campaign, we need to think about much broader spectrum than just the products. We need to think how to actually use the product, how to use the product, how to use creative, how to use landing page, and how to use web analytics to understand and address the needs of different audiences. So it's not just about the product, it's not about just how to know remarketing, how to know AdWords, but how to use that knowledge and actually connecting with copywriting, connecting with the landing page optimization to address the needs of the different people. So when we start with the product, the first main idea is just to make sure that we understand that there is no average customer. Like, I'm repeating very often that by average, my wife and my daughter are 6 years old. By average, me and Bill Gates, we earn 8 billion per year. And the same is with the conversion rate, the same is result. We will take a look at the average conversion rate, not very often thinking that the same average conversion rate is very different for different audiences, which means that those different audiences have different value, and it should be reflected in our bidding as well. And the best idea to do is actually to user marketing to reflect bidding for different audiences. To give you the idea, that was the example from one of the biggest travel company in Europe. What they did, we have regular travel company. You could, once you came to the website, you start, that was the first step, then you could start to search for the specific flight, then you would go to fill out the form, start payment, and then finish the transaction. So what they did actually, they did very simple thing, that they put different remarketing codes for different audiences, but then they reflected bidding to make sure that they have different relationship with the people who have different knowledge about the product. So if you were if everyone remarketed this, which means you go to the website and did nothing, you didn't even start to search, they wanted to pay less for that person. If that person started to search, so the person started to search and then the left process, once the person came back via remarketing, they wanted to pay more. And then once the person came from like very high converting landing pages, or the person almost bought the product and then stopped, they wanted even to pay more for that person in the future because the person almost bought the product and then stopped. And that's really simple. But then, when it was reflected, as you could see on that slide, the result is that once they had the specific campaign, once they bid differently on the people who had different value for them, we could see that the more value from the remarketing is, the higher conversion rate they got from that campaign. Which means, because they paid more for the people who had more value for them, because they were on better and better remarketing, that they had higher and higher conversion rate from those audiences, and then what is more, they get of course higher positions because they need more, and then once they had a specific budget, they wanted to spend it first on the people who had the highest value for them, and then lower and lower. And that's the main idea to user marketing, not just to talk to the people who were on the website, because it's just really simple idea, but to make sure that we use this remarketing to talk to the people who have different value about our product. But that's just about the product. It's not enough, because that's the first part of the segmentation. The second part is actually how we should talk in different way to the people. I remember in the past when I created campaigns, I worked pretty long for pretty long time I created the campaigns. I tried to get specific knowledge about AdWords, I tried to read blogs, and the only moment which really was like some kind of breakthrough for my knowledge about how to use sponsored search and different other medias was the time when for the first time I read really good copywriting book. Why? Because that book showed me how very often it's not what we want to say, but how we want to say. How very often change the thing, how just a few words change can have much more influence versus the past. And to give you the idea how true is that, I will show you that video showing that I think in a really smart way. I'm blind, please help.
I wrote the same, but different words.
Thanks, Mark.
It is a beautiful day, and I cannot see it. It's the same what to say, I'm blind, please help. But the outcome of the word and the powerful is much bigger. So let's remember when we create even the sponsored search, that we are talking to the people, and the details matter. Even in those like 70 characters or like 95 we have to use. And there are many copywriting rules we can learn about. I really recommend you to learn about. One of the copywriting rules I use very often, I see it's really beneficial for sponsored search. It's called For You, which means that once we create an ads, it's good to include the information which is urgent. So last 2 places left, 7 days left for the promotion. So anything which is urgent, say act now. Ultra specific. The research shows that the more specific the information, the more trustful it's for the people. Which means when we have 25,000 hotels, it means it is more trustful than thousands of hotels. If we have 27,500 hotels, it's even more trustful and better. People will better track than just for 27,000. Useful, which means that is something which is really useful for the specific product. Like, okay, we are selling some software, so information about that we have trial is something useful for the people. And of course, unique, something which makes us stand out from the different offers, like 12 years of experience of the company. The only retailer having specific function. The biggest hotels database in the world, only in the Europe. And if you go to if you start to write an ads, please at first go to the Google, to the ad preview, and start looking at your competition, start looking at the different companies, and you will see the really big correlation between those for you and those first position for the sports on search. Please remember to include those things into in your ads. You could see Forex. Then we have best Forex provider in 2030. So it's unique, yeah? Unlimited Forex demo. What it is? Useful. 300,000 demo account. Which one? Useful. Forex due 500 deposit bonus, useful. Or like different example, when we have higher cycles, and then we have £9 a day, which is ultra specific. Then we have today 50% off, urgent. So once you go to the search, you will see that once you use the tool, it will have positive influence on performance and on your campaigns. And then once you create the ads, please make sure that you know that you are talking to the real people. That's why I think those new demographic reports in Google Analytics are great, because they give you the insight who is actually coming from the specific campaign, who is coming to your website. And the data shows, the research shows that different people respond to different things. Even there are some differences between the men and the women. Even the research shows that women are actually reacting to different ads than men. For example, the research showed that male, they are looking for more funny things. Female, they like humor, but it's just a little bit delicate. It's not like something, really hard. And then men, they like parody, which is not the case very often for women. And the same when we check what actually is inside the ad. We see that, for example, when there is specific content of the ad, women, they love children. That's why most of the ads created by brokers or like those CPG companies, they include the picture of those nice like babies smiling to us and trying to show that they are so nice. And then of course women are much more emotional than men. And then of course women they like a bit more some life. Men are a bit more rational. So please make sure you know it, and then once you have it, once you have any task and an ads, you test even more often than backend is actually testing his haircut. Because at the end of the day, you don't know which the ad will actually, which audience will be best responding for the specific thing. In Poland we say, in God we trust, everything else we need to test. And that is something really good to remember when you have any marketing campaign. To give you the example, that's the real case from the Polish company, from Netia, it's telecom company. They had two ads. The first one is this is the really original one, the same as regular telecom company. So most of the telecom companies, they have really similar ads. Internet up to 20 megabytes with router, Wi-Fi from one slot. Almost all telecom, they have almost the same ads. Sometimes it's just from one slot, sometimes for five slots, and so on. And then there's second company, second ad they created, which actually included like really famous person, it's like celebrity. And then they hired copywriter, so there is some smart sentence inside. He knows already what makes me excited, and you. And then choose internet. So there are 2 ads. And then some of the ads, they got much higher CTR, and some of them, they got much higher conversion rate. Which do you think got higher CTR, and which do you think got higher conversion rate? From 2. Which one got higher CTR? Much higher? And which one got higher conversion rate? So CTR, which one? First one. Conversion rate? No. Both cases, this was this one. It got higher CTR and higher conversion rate. So why I'm showing this to you? To make sure you understand that always, even if we are like the best specialists in our field, if we know our stuff, always we assess based on our experience, based on our knowledge, based on our gender. So it's always high error in that. So always need to test that message. And what is more, once you have that copywriting, you need to make sure that you use that power of that words to talk to the people who have different knowledge about your product in different way. Because it's the very old copywriting rule that was invented many years ago, which is telling that once you have that somebody who is not aware of your product, doesn't know that you exist, you need at first to say what is the difference between you and the other company. And then, once the person knows, then you can try to set specific details, price, like anything you want to persuade the person to make the action, like urgency, all that stuff. And in the past, it was very difficult to do. But right now, it's much easier. Because right now, if you would ask Yoda, Mr. Yoda was my idol in the past, he would add, much do you have? Trust in the remarketing we must. Because that remarketing has that power that you have specific audience, and then you can talk to the same audience second time, knowing that they had contact with you in the past. It can be in video, it can be in the text, even in such simple way that you have specific information in the first stage, and then you are talking about other thing in the second stage, but talking to the same person. So it can be as simple as in this case, when we had this travel company, which placed really simple remarketing code, and they create remarketing campaign, and they talk to different people in different ways. So if they show in the search, if they show the ads to the people who didn't know that company, they were not on any remarketing list, there was this story, information why you should choose that company. Huge savings, huge, nobody beats our price, some information how you should actually choose that company. But if that person who was seeing that ad was on the specific remarketing list, they were saying much more specific information. There was no bullshit like huge savings on a Caribbean cruise. Because if somebody was on that website, there were so many banners about those savings that it was stupid to say about that second time. They just spent the time to show, okay, you know that our website is good, but there are just 3 days for the promotion, use it wisely. And then it's even more important when we are talking to the user on mobile, because on mobile, you know, the screen is smaller, so that's why you want to adjust that ad to the specific user context, which means you want to stand out even faster and as in this case, information that you can do something faster from your mobile. And we can use even those ads to really shorten the cycle. It's very difficult to do booking from mobile. So very often in the travel, the bookings from mobile, they are for much shorter time in advance, which means very often it's just the situation, I'm taking my phone and I'm looking for the hotel for the next day, 2 days more, yeah? So they use even those simple site links to shorten the purchase cycle. To avoid the situation that somebody is coming to the website, he's choosing the next day and then booking. Right away from the site links, you can just choose specific day. And when we go even to the mobile, I think it's quite interesting field. Even in our part of Europe, we have like 5th year of mobile in a row. And still I have like, such questions from many advertisers. Okay, the mobile is huge, at least you show us that. And then I still don't have a lot of traffic from mobile. How it happens? So that's why I decided to deep dive a bit more. So what I did, I checked a few countries, at least those countries which the language I can understand. Unfortunately, I cannot understand the Czech, so I did it for like other countries. But I did it in this way. I checked some keywords in very competitive markets, like loans, finance. What I did, I checked the results for desktop, and I compared the same results for mobile. So that's, for example, for desktop, that would be for mobile, yeah? The same keyword, it's not exactly the same one, but very, very similar. So what I checked, when I saw on desktop, I saw that the CTRs are looking in this way. So we have a few clients having really high CTRs, and then some a little bit farther. And then I can compare the results with mobile, the same keywords from mobile. I had something like that, which means I had one leader having most of the clicks, and then some followers, like the second got a little bit, and then nothing was left. Which means, once we are creating something for mobile, especially search, let's remember about that the winner takes it all. And to make sure that you know it and you will remember it, please hear it to this. The winner takes it all. Please remember when any time you create a campaign for mobile. Okay, but still it's just, so that's why when we're creating the ads for mobile, those things like site links are even more important for mobile than for desktop. But what about the landing page? It's just the copyright. What about the landing page? At first, when we created a campaign, let's remember that the ads is like the promise. It's like the scout promise. So if we have something as the promise in the ad and we are not delivering at the landing page, it's not strange that we have a very high bounce rate for our campaign. Even in very advanced markets, in very advanced verticals, we have situations like there is Cash Loans UK, there is specific promise, cash advance in 15 minutes, and then I have the answer on the landing page. It only takes minutes to apply, and you should get your cash into your account the same day. Promise 15 minutes, and then the answer, it will probably take more than that. So let's remember that if some user cannot see something, it does not exist. So this rule to make sure that once we have specific question from the user, and then we have specific answer saying, okay, what is our value, that we are proving that our value at the landing page as well. What is more, once we have our landing page, let's take a look at even in the best ones. If you go to the landing pages of the best ones, as in this case in the GoDaddy, you could see that in this case the going from one part to another one, from the app to the landing page is so smooth. You almost didn't see that we went from the ad to the landing page. What is more, Let's adjust the user's condition even more than we can do in the past. If we can adjust this user motivation more, it's even better. That's a very good case in the US. That was the company creating consultation for decoration, and that was the initial landing page. Clean, bright, organized, schedule, free design, consultation today. And they created the second version. We got, you arrived, confirmation of the user motivation, and then there was repetition from the ad. That was actually the second, because it was landing page provided for other words ad, and then actually it was the second line of the AdWords ad. So once they adjusted more this landing page to the ad, the lead increased 115%. What is more, there is the highest trend right now is in the preparation of dynamic landing pages. Why? Because they are much more adjusted to the user's condition than just static landing pages. This is a really nice case from the Netia company from Poland, telecom company, and that was a really simple idea. That was the search for the internet, like Internet Warsaw. And the idea was that in that part, which was the name of the city, that was variable, which was changed based on the user query. Which means that we had, if somebody found Internet Warsaw, then of course, he found the ad Internet Warsaw and then like the rest of the ad. But then there was the headline, check fast and cheap internet in Warsaw. If somebody was looking for Internet Krakow, that was the same landing page, but just with the information, check fast and cheap internet in Krakow. Really simple way to, again, to adjust more the user's motivation to the final landing page. So that's why right now we can see more and more landing pages which are just one landing page, but we are just changing one element, as in this case, like first version, second one, and the third one. And then you can see that the same landing page, but just it's changed a little bit. They have different outcomes, and it's just like saying different thing to different audience. But you get the same landing page without a lot of effort, without a lot of changes. Once we have landing pages, please remember about once we optimize the landing pages, please remember about optimizing those things on the landing pages. Because when we have the lower conversion rate, usually the reason for this lower conversion rate is one of those things. Perceived difficulty of the process, incentive, urgency, anxiety, and call to action. What I mean? It means that if I go to the website and it's difficult to read, the conversion will be lower. And really simple things like how this actually text is structured really makes the difference. It's hard to believe that in both cases it's actually the same text. It's almost the same text, but just using headlines, list, it really makes different in terms of how we can actually understand it, how we will see it. Then, once we have specific landing pages, how people will see it. There's very important part to, see, to check how people see it. This is like one landing page for the dating website, and that's the second version. Which do you think has better result? Or the dating website? Second. Okay, to show you the result. This is how people saw the first landing page. You could see once people will taking a look at us, we will see at them as well. It's just the direct way, and then there is specific attention given to the call to action as well. But once we take a look at the second version, it will be like this. Okay, there is high attention, but given to this. You see how little attention is given to the call to action. And that's actually the general data. Probably if we would segment the data by gender, probably the outcome would be even more interesting. So let's remember about that. And then we can work with this perceived difficulty in very even direct way, like saying, okay, in this case, it takes only 30 seconds to sign up. It's so easy. And then, of course, once we optimize it, let's remember about this incentive. Because incentive makes people act. So many companies use this incentive in the way like, okay, you can save 82 pounds for the specific product, but not many companies actually are doing that. They are continuing that information further, not just on the landing page, but again, even on the shopping cart to remind, you saved $90 today. Please check out before those deals expire. Not just information about sending, but reminder about that at every stage of the process. And then it can be even using some triggers. We know, like reduce to clear, it was 160 pounds, then 128, then 80, now 48. How many women you know which would resist such offer? Okay. And then of course using urgency. Just one piece left. Saying, okay, act now because you will lose. And then call benefit. Not just sign up, but specific benefit in the call to action. Start trading now for free. And then it's even more important once we come to the mobile, where actually this process is even more difficult than on desktop. So once we think about the user futures, in this case, we have the specific process, and we make the user's life easier because we give him the possibility, okay, email this card to the desktop if you want to finish on the desktop because you did this first part on mobile, you would like to continue on desktop. Or, as in this case, save for later. Because we would like to, this first part was easy on mobile, it's not easy for desktop. Or even some smarter ideas in this telecom company. They were gathering leads, so name, telephone, and email address. How they created the lead form for mobile? It looked like this. Why? Because it was so difficult to fill out that form on mobile. They just wanted to have the phone number, and they needed to talk to the person anyway. So, of course, they needed this name and the email address, but the sales representative could take that information during the phone. And then, of course, the read rate increased 44%. And then the last part, which is about data analysis. At first, let's make sure that we do not take a look at we remember that there's no average customer. That once we go to the Google Analytics will show us that, okay, there is specific average conversion rate, but there is different conversion rate for female than for male. There is different conversion rate for old people versus young people. There is different conversion rate for the people coming from different places. And we should really reflect it with our bids. That this is different conversion rate for the people coming from different hours. People coming from business hours versus off-business hours. And when I showing that very often, I'm getting that message, nothing new. Big modifiers, everybody knows about that. It's like nothing new. But the main challenge is like, it's common knowledge, it's not common practice. It's like talking about the Yeti. Everybody heard about that? Not many people saw it in the real life, in the real account. Let's remember it when you optimize the campaign. And what is more, once you analyze the campaign, remember that in data analysis, the most important part is not just how much data we gather using universal analytics, the tag manager, but how much insight we can get and how much action we can get from that insight. Even from simple things, how many of you are using advanced segmentation Google Analytics? I think, I hope that after the presentation, much more people will use it. Why? Because it will give you the answer for many questions, without even the landing page testing. Because when I'm asking myself, that's the page about sales, what kind of positive, does it have positive result on sales or not? Of course I can test it, but that's the precious time, precious resources. But I can just use advanced segmentation and divide people into two groups. The people who saw the page and the people who did not saw the page. And I see that the people who saw the page, the conversion rate was much higher, without any testing. And we can even go with much more testing in very similar way, like in this case. I'm interested if this thing is used by the people. I can use the same pattern, and I see, okay, in this case, I see that from the people who saw the page, most of them became converters, which means that is a really important part for the conversion rate. And I can go, of course, further and further, but there's no time for that. So, as the summary for the presentation, please remember that the performance is not about the product, but about creating landing page and data analysis. And three takes away for the end of my presentation. Take a look at your organization chart. Who you need to talk to in order to implement it wisely. Revise your performance strategies, not just about the product. And remember, the real knowledge is given, it's learned, not given. And just to steal the last minutes of the presentation, I like always to leave people with specific story after my presentation. So we'll do the story about desert pig. The desert pig is such nice animal. It has pretty happy life, but it has only one enemy. It's the lion. And actually, the life of the pig is pretty good. The pig is really fast, so lion cannot get the pig. But there's only one problem. The pig has really small memory. So once the pig see the lions attacking the second living, he knows that the lion is really dangerous. That the pig knows that needs to be run really fast. But then very often forgets about that and then dies. And what it has actually to do with this performance marketing? A lot. Because I think that very often attending conference like that, we are like desert pig. Once we see those nice case studies, once we saw those examples, once we see that lion, we know how smart he's becoming, we know how dangerous he's becoming, but then we come back to our house, we come back to our work, and there is day-to-day life, there are some other priorities, and our memory is becoming smaller and smaller. So with those words, I hope that the desert pig is not the case in your situation. So with those words, I would like to invite for the second presentation of Nouhi.
Jeho prezentace zaujala a Mariusz je zakladatelem největší polské online komunity, jmenuje se to Semkem. Takže jestli to chcete vyhledat a udělat si třeba nějaký výlet do Polska na jednu z jeho konferencí, tak vám to určitě doporučuji. Má někdo z vás žízeň tady? Během prezentací, tak když tak na mě houpněte. Chtěla bych vám představit Nouhi. Nouhi je ze společnosti AVG, která sídlí v Praze. Nouhi sice bude mluvit anglicky, but you like Prague, right?
Yes, I love Prague.
And he's living here.
I do live here. Yes, 2.5 years now.
And Nouhi is managing AVG's online team, advertising almost in every country of the world.
It's a few countries, yeah.
So please.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I need the clicker. Mariusz, come on. Take my time and my clicker. Hey guys, well, first of all, Mariusz was fantastic. We're another round of applause for Mariusz. It's really good. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. When I was asked to do this, I was really excited, flattered, and then I started stressing out. I said to myself, what am I going to write to a bunch of people who know what they are doing? You guys know this stuff. I don't need to tell you this. I'm just going to remind you, because, you know, it's my time to talk, and I love to talk, so here we go. So I'm going to talk about 5 practical tips from AVG. Not about security, not about optimization of your PC, but about online advertising. How can you get more out of your ad spend? Because, you know, we all know that, you know, our average cost per click, you want to get the most out of that, every penny, every crown, every rupee, every piece of monetary money that we actually spend. So I'll get into that. Where's there we go. So here's the agenda. They're funny titles, I'll explain, they don't make sense. We'll talk about, you know, who are we, who's AVG, who am I, why should you listen to me? You don't have to listen to you guys and leave, no problem. Why is this important? Why are we talking about optimization today? What's the point of this? And then I'll go through, you know, the words, the copy, the language we use. What do we say? How do we say it? It's so important. Words are words. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I have to say, Mariusz is completely on track with that. Thanks for stealing my line. Buttons of the rainbow, colors matter. You know, we're in advertising. There's a lot of psychology behind advertising. I know because my sister's a shrink, and I've learned a lot of things over the years about that. So, you know, we'll talk about that a little bit. And then again, look, you know, my job, I started out as a specialist. All I did was, you know, change bids, optimize, and write ad copy, and bid, do this, X, Y, Z, put some reports. But now all I do is tell a story about, you know, how much actually made, what's the outcome of our investments. So we have to always, measurement is so important. I mean, numbers are what we live by. There's a reason why we're doing what we do. We're so lucky to actually be living in this generation, this era where we have the internet, where we can actually quantify the advertising dollars we're spending. This is not television or newspapers, and this is online advertising. We have cookies, they last 30, 90 days, 100 days. We have soon probably some unique user ID from Google and Facebook, but we'll know more than probably we want to know about each other. And then there's all these tools, you know, that we use. And I'm going to talk about some tools, and then finally, because I love to talk, I have a few last words that I'll go through. So who are we? Like, why talk to me? So I work at AVG, and you know, you guys probably know AVG, how that gets. It started in Brno, it was Grosoft originally. We're an online security company. We're a security company for tablets. We have security for mobile devices, for your iOS, for your Android, for everything. We're the most downloaded Android security app on the Google Play Store. We're quite proud of that. We're one out of 28 apps that have over 100 million downloads. Just to give you an idea of how many apps are in the App Store, I think it's a few million. Someone from Google would probably correct me, it's a few million. And to be one out of 28 over 100 million, and we're talking about, you know, 100 million, we're talking about Facebook is on there, WhatsApp, Instagram. I mean, these are companies that are being acquired for billions of dollars. Hopefully we get acquired for billions of dollars, or our stock price triples, but anyway. And then why listen to me? What else, what do I do? So I'm part of the online advertising team here at Prague. We're based in Prague. Some of them are here around you, sitting among you. I'm very, very fortunate to have a great team. And they're talented, they're driven, like I mentioned here, and they're from around the world. It's for me, coming from Los Angeles, and I come from a very multicultural city, and I like to think that I haven't really left home much because my team is from all over the world. And It's fantastic. One of the things is, we display, we manage search, display, mobile, tablets. There's like paper install networks, which is a software thing. There's VR, we're about to do some other things with Google I can't really talk about yet because the contracts aren't signed. But anyway, before I get into trouble because this is recorded, I'll move on. Why is this important? Why are we talking about this today? What is the point of this conversation? Why are you here? Not because there's drinks in a couple hours, which we all probably need after a couple hours of sitting through conferences, but there's money. We're spending money, and this is a bit where is there? Which is this? What's the pointer? Which one's the pointer? The red one. The red one. Here. So here you can see that 37% increase in online spend. This is the U.S. This is a search agency. This is average CPCs. I mean, this is pretty significant. This is $1 to $1.33. Why did this happen? What's the point? Well, guess what, guys? It's 2014. It's 2014. And people are advertising online, and they're willing to spend more money, and they're more sophisticated. So advertising more sophisticated, agencies, there's automated tools. It's not just us anymore going in and changing CPCs. There's algorithms. People a lot smarter than me are doing this stuff, and they're being quite successful. So, what are we going to do about it? Really, what's the point? So, the point is that what we're going to do is we're going to optimize every click, every visit to our websites. We're going to pull teeth to get a conversion. So whether it's a lead, whether it's a download in our case, whether it's a purchase, whether it's a sign up, I don't know, whatever it is, we're going to get that action, and we're going to dictate those actions via line optimization. So one of the ways is via words. Language is so important. It's not. Unfortunately, we don't use body language online. We have to use verbal language. So let's talk about that. 7 principles of persuasion. This is something that a few really smart PhDs, psychologists again, I'm big on psychology and advertising, came up with, and this is one, let me go through them and explain what they are. Authority. So people will listen to authority. We've, like our parents, like people who, a doctor says, you have pain in your knees because you tore a ligament. Okay, that's authority. Commitment and consistency. We're people that we're committed to certain things, certain actions, and consistency. It's very important as an advertiser to be consistent in your message, be committed to your message, stick to your messages. Scarcity. If this is very simple. So for example, does anyone know Nouhi, the website? Anyone know that website? Great website, love it, highly recommend it. It's a flash website, right? You have limited quantity inventory there. And they tell you, God, I've done this so many times already, we have a few stock, we have one or two left. This is the last product. This is scarcity. This is creating urgency. And it works. We'll get below that a little bit. And then liking. People, we're social animals. If my friend Andro likes something, if he likes red pants, I like red pants too. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I'm going to start wearing red pants. Compromise. If, for example, have you ever seen a comparison page? There's usually three comparison types, right? There's a cheap one, there's a middle one, and then there's the high-end one. The majority of us will compromise and go towards the middle. And then social proof. It's similar to liking. It's like third-party awards. It's like likes on Facebook, that kind of thing. That's social proof. And then I knew I was gonna mess this up. One more time. Who's gonna say this word? Thank you so much. See, it's my native tongue. I can't even say this word. But that's why language is so important, right? But anyway, this means, hey, you give me something, I want to give something to someone else, right? This is like, pay it forward. If you've ever seen that movie, it's a cheesy movie with Kevin Spacey from the mid-90s. Anyway, the point is, these are all very important techniques to use when you're optimizing your landing pages and your ad copy. So this is one of our pages. This is internet security. We have right here, there's a CNET award right there, those stars. What is that? Anyone know what that is? That's a couple of these now. Third-party review, which is social proof. It's a liking, it's authority. This CNET has an authority on software. It's a software portal in the U.S. and it's globally, but they're provide us. Here's another one, 187 million active users. That means 187 people actually use our products. That's pretty surprising, actually, and it's quite impressive. Again, that's liking, that's social proof. Scarcity. If we said, you know, if we had a line here, said, okay, we only have 10 of these pieces of software left, that would be scarcity. So let me go for another one here. So this is a page where we're going through a free trial of our PC tune-up product, which is fantastic. I recommend downloading it to the PC. And that's as a consumer, not as a employee AUG. We have a limited time offer here. So you're going through a 15-day trial, you click on this buy button, all of a sudden it's, hey, you have 10 minutes, you're going to save 50% off. That's scarcity. That is something like, hey, look, it's going to go. It's a limited time only. Also here, you can't really see it. I apologize for my subpar screenshot techniques. But you can see here, there's some opportunity here. It's a comparison right here. I mean, people we're offering a discount on a 2-year and a 1-year license there. So these are important things. These are important things that we should talk about. We also use these principles when we write our ads. So what to say, right? So what do we say? Sorry to throw all in your face with this, but you have 8 seconds or less to grab the user's attention. That's it. 8 seconds. Assume seconds. Sorry, I don't know the word for seconds either. How to structure your ads. So you got to make sure you really talk to the individuals. This is the way we tend to structure our ads. I've been using this for years. It still works. Your headline. Relevant to the search query. We know this, right? We have a tightly structured campaign account structure. We have keywords. This keyword should be in your headline. Description line 1. You know, call out features and benefits. You know, what's the social proof? Like, did you win an award? Put that in there and highlight it if you can. You know, and then you know, strong CTA and relevant CTA really to description line 2. So that means, you know, buy now, free shipping, you know, discount today, etc. Then, you know, display URL. People don't do this that much anymore, but I think you should always add, you know, if you have the same keyword in the headline, I would add it into the display URL. It bolds, you know, it gives more attention to the ad. It's fantastic, old school trick that I think people are still using today. And then leverage breaks, trademark, not like symbols, extensions when available. So it's a break. Speak in natural language, okay? Like let's use proper grammar. We all went to school, we're educated individuals. Let's not, like, you know, when you write a sentence, end it with a period. Amazon, I know what they're doing here. This is the automated ad creation tool. This is why it's not the case. They probably ran out of characters also. I would search for Sony 4K TV. This is the best ad I got from Best Buy. Also, here's some social proof right here with the merchant score again, and authority also, and here's some liking and social proof again with the Google Plus. Look, use this stuff, guys. Like, Google has done a lot of research on these things, and we need to make sure we leverage them. I mean, yes, higher CTR means, you know, more clicks, which means more higher cost, but those are qualified clicks. So qualify those users, get them to the landing page, and then we'll tell them what they need to do. So from here, the buttons to the rainbow. This is my favorite slide, if I have to say. Not only because of the title, because I really believe in this. It's been proven. There's psychology behind colors. Colors in our subconscious mean something to us. Okay, so for example, there's a few here that I want to highlight. There's blue. Blue is a sense of security, a sense of trust. This is what Google uses quite a bit, actually, and banks use this. I mean, think of any bank. G Money Bank uses it. A couple other banks use it here. Green. Green is a sense of wealth. I don't know why, but it is in North America. These, by the way, these colors might change differently to different people, where you are in the world. But I think they pretty much stand overall, given that the world is small and we're all kind of conditioned in a similar way. And then orange. Orange is what we use on our landing pages. You saw that on our main call to action on buy now button. It's orange. This means, you know, create an aggressive call to action that says you're subscribe, buy or sell. If you look at the largest advertiser in the US, retailers at least, is Amazon. And you can't really see it here again. I don't have the greatest tool, but next time I promise I will have fantastic screenshots. This is an orange and yellow, actually, but it's mostly orange, stamped from Amazon right here, button here. Add to cart. Here's Apple. You all know Apple, right? iPhone, iPad, etc. Here's a green button. I mean, when I think of Apple, I think of like this is an exclusive thing. I feel for whatever reason, I feel like I'm wealthier because I have an iPhone, not because Android's, because I'm not an Android guy, but it just feels this way. And then blue. Blue's Dropbox. Okay, let's talk about Dropbox for 1 second. It's all blue right here. The button, their icon. What do you have on Dropbox? You have your entire online life. Like, this is a lot of stuff. I shouldn't say this, but I will. I have a copy of my passport on Dropbox, you know, and like this is, I want to feel secure. I want to feel secure. This is why I feel secure, because I put a copy of my passport on here, and that's why blue resonates with me. So think about this, guys, when you're testing different colors and calls to action. Make sure to use these colors. I mean, if you work for agencies, if you have a finance client, try green. See what happens. Try blue, see what happens. You know, orange, e-commerce site. I don't know, like I shop on Alza. I don't remember what color their buttons are, but if anyone from Alza here, try orange. See what it is. If you're not already using orange, and if you are, I apologize. I don't remember the color of your buttons. Anyway, moving on. So, okay, now I've kind of explained to you how to put everything together, right? We know what the words, how to say them, we know what colors to use, what calls to actions, buttons, and what kind of layouts, etc. Now we have to measure, we have to quantify this. This is all I do all day. You know, I spend a lot of money online, and my managers always ask me, what was the outcome? What was the return on investment? So you have to measure these things. And you want to measure it quickly, so you can tell a story quickly so you can keep growing. Because let me tell you, this industry does not stop growing. It's constantly moving, whether it's in the Czech markets in Europe or in Asia, worldwide. The internet is only going to get larger. And I have to say, I'm going to say it again, we're very lucky to work in this industry. We're going to look back 20 years from now like, wow, we were like the pioneers in online advertising. So as I digress, we'll get to measurements. So measurements. When you're running a test, you can easily kind of figure out how long you need to run this test, how long you need to actually run the test to get the outcome you're looking for. So this is a you can't really see this here, but I'll explain it. Visual Website Optimizer. A great little website. They have a tool. Just go on there, and this is a free tool. This will you get a couple inputs here. You have your existing conversion rate for a landing page, your desired lift, the percentages, the number of combinations, right? So if your A/B test is 2 combinations, if you're doing a multivariate test with 2 pages with 3 variants, that's 6, etc. We're all good at math, we can figure it out. And then the average number of daily visits to these pages. So in this case, you just want to know how long it's going to take. And then out of that daily visits, what's the split of traffic? Are you going to drive 100% of the traffic to these pages, or 50%, etc.? You pull those inputs in, and it'll tell you, based on your goals, these inputs, how long to get this test statistically significant, how long it's going to take, how many days. In this case, it's taking 22 days, it can take 50 days, whatever. And what's great here is it helps you prioritize the elements you want to test on your landing page, right? Gosh, I know that we all love testing, and we have so many great ideas. But guys, we can't test everything at once. So this will give you an idea of how to prioritize what elements you want to test, and lay them out, and create a testing plan, testing matrix. It's great. And then, now you know how long it's going to take. Now, how do you know the winner? No? Oh, there we go. Okay. This is a confidence calculator. It's significance calculator. If anyone took statistics, this is pretty straightforward. I can't really explain this to you, the math behind this, but it works. It's basically, I'm just kidding. It basically takes, you take the number of visitors for both control and variance, and the number of conversions. Because we're never going to have a 50-50 split. We're going to have the control might have more visits and less conversions, and then, variant might have more conversions, less visits. But we don't really know the true performance of those pages until we put it through something like this, which will calculate the actual, through confidence, statistically significant level of how much actually, which one works. So, for example, there's different levels, different confidence levels, 90%, 95%, 99%. I typically like to use 95 or above. I can explain this later, but I won't get too much into it. And this is another free tool for this exact same website, Visual Website Optimizer. Great little website, it's free. This is an Excel version, you can download it. If you want to add more variants, you can add it. It's pretty straight, just copy and paste. Or they have a online tool also. So now you've measured it. Now we've done all this great stuff. where is it? There we go, okay. So is there an app for that? You know, I love computers. I've been using computers for a long time, since I was this big. And the reason why I love them so much is because they make my life easier. Because this is what we should be doing, right? So if you guys are spending too much time reporting, we got to figure something out, guys, because you can automate this stuff. It's make the computer work for you. Don't work for the computer, right? So is there an app for all this? Is there some kind of, is someone really smart from Google or from ABG or from ALSA or from Inborn have figured out some way of measuring something easy for us? Yeah, actually there is. Former Googlers created this tool called Optimizely. It's a single piece of code you put in your header, JavaScript, no problem, and you can easily manipulate the page and add different things, and test different things on the fly. So when Mariusz was asking us, look at the org chart, there is no org chart here. Like, you don't have to talk to anyone. All you have to do is make sure this code is on your page, and you can start making some changes yourself. So you can change any element on this page. You can't really see this menu. You can change the HTML, the text. You can add new images. You can add new functionality, colors, whatever you want to do. Basically, for simple, straightforward tests. So the button color test, the copy testing, etc. It's all done through here. And guess what? The best part about this tool is you don't have to build a page. You can run the test, and Optimize will host this variant of the page until you find a winner. And it'll tell you which winner it is by these beautiful reports here, which have all the significance calculators and etc. And once you find the winner, you can keep running it and have your web team build the page as you continue to reap the rewards of your hard work. So it's a really cool tool. I don't work for them, obviously. I have no stock or anything like that. They're not a public company, but they saved myself and a lot of people out there a lot of time, and it's a great tool. So if you can, I recommend using tools like this, or Visual Optimizer, another tool like this too. Test and Target has a similar tool like this, which is from Adobe. These tools will help us. It helps enable and empower us, the advertisers. Because guess what, guys? We know what works. Because we're the ones spending all the time, money. We're looking at the ads constantly. We're writing those ads. We know the numbers. We're the ones who are making these changes and implementing these changes and measuring them. Yeah.
What's the name of this one?
Optimizely. O-P-T-I-M. Yeah. Optimizely. My spelling is horrible. Math is pretty good though. Anyway. Last but not least, because I'm out of time, I have 0 seconds. But Mariusz gave me 5 seconds, so 5 minutes. So great guy, by the way. Taught him after he's Polish, so I don't know if he drinks a lot of vodka. I'm not sure, but maybe we'll have some vodka later. Anyway, because I need one about now. One last thought, because it's not my last thought, but it's my last thought for this time that I have here. Is guys, it's just. Don't be the pig, if I can don't be the desert pig, guys. Remember this, be organized when you run these tests, okay? The worst thing to find out is when you launch a test, to find out there was an error initially, and the test is, all the results don't matter. So be organized, make sure you understand what the goals are, set goals, set objectives, document these things, Have a contest within your team, I don't know, put some wager on it, whatever you want to do, to make sure it's organized, clean, and then execute this. Execution means very simple. Now you have a plan, execute it, double check things, triple check things, make sure there are no errors. Again, I can't stress this enough because, look, no one's perfect, no one here is perfect. Unfortunately, but hey, this is the way we are. We make mistakes. Double check your work, triple check your work, make sure it's there, because the last thing we want is to wait 22 days and find out if these results are incorrect. And then finally, test. Test, guys, test everything. Just prioritize it and test it. And no idea is a bad idea. Just like there's no question is a bad question. This is what testing is. This is one of the best parts about our job, I have to say. Besides the Google parties and the free drinks and the free food, which I could really use a burger right now. You guys hungry? No? Or you're over it? Just on top of you? Okay. No. But anyway, just please start testing. Just test everything and anything, and you'll reap the rewards. So that's it from me. I'm Nav, that's my email address, I don't know why it's like that, and Diki Modes.